should be a bigger headline. It's a little bananas that it's not, given the Biden classified document scandal, which is that story is getting a lot of headlines, even from the mainstream media, even from the very leftist corporate press. I know they're calling it an accident. There are a few commentators and leftists here and there who are calling what Biden did irresponsible. And they're probably doing it to salvage their own reputations because they came down so hard on President Trump 6 months ago, doing something far less serious and certainly not criminal. But the fact remains that the Biden classified documents scandal is getting a lot of headlines, but this is not. This is only being reported by Just the News, which is John Solomon's operation. And that is the Penn Biden Center at the University of Pennsylvania. This was supposed to be Biden's think tank, although I think we all know that Biden doesn't think. So there's some irony there. But it was in the closet of Biden's office at the Penn Biden Center at the University of Pennsylvania, an unsecured facility where classified documents were found. What were Biden's lawyers doing searching this? Probably, most likely, they were under subpoena looking for documents related to a Hunter Biden investigation. Be that as it may. The University of Pennsylvania, which is very closely tied to Biden to give him a fake think tank and office space on their campus, received money from China, a lot of money from China. And this impacted the course of U.S. policy towards the Chinese Communist Party. This is what Just the News reports. The University of Pennsylvania, which hosted the Penn Biden Center, where classified documents were found last November, received $47.7 million from China in the 3 years when Biden was affiliated with it. In other words, it wasn't a coincidence that China was giving these exorbitant amounts of money to the University of Pennsylvania when Biden was there. It was pay to play. It was purchasing of access to Biden. Why? Well, this is what Just the News writes. The University of Pennsylvania, the Ivy League institution which collected tens of millions of dollars from China while paying Joe Biden and hosting his foreign policy think tank, successfully pressured the Biden Justice Department to end an FBI counter-espionage program targeting Beijing's increasing influence within U.S. academia. Attorney General Merrick Garland shut down the FBI's so-called China Initiative in February of 2022, shortly after more than 160 members of the University of Pennsylvania faculty signed and made public an open letter demanding the program be shuttered on the grounds that it amounted to racial profiling. The faculty letter was part of a larger university battle against the program. The Department of Justice's own website still includes to this day a lengthy recitation of criminal cases the 4-year program had brought against members of academia who were working with China, either on espionage charges or failure to disclose foreign monies as is required by law. Okay, so first of all, we have talked about the China Initiative on the show a long time ago, a year ago. We talked about how an exorbitant percentage of professors at elite universities are paid off by China. They receive money from China, and in return from that, they either leverage influence over the way that they teach their students about the Chinese Communist Party, or they commit outright espionage. They give usually intellectual property secrets from the STEM field, about technology and science, to the Chinese Communist Party. Some of these professors are Chinese nationals. Some of them are in fact Chinese by descent, even if they're American citizens. Some of them aren't. Some of them are American citizens of other races and other skin colors who are just selling out to the Chinese for the paycheck that the Chinese give them in return. This is an incredibly important, or it was before the University of Pennsylvania helped kill it. This was an incredibly important investigation that the Department of Justice was undertaking, these prosecutions, to try to prevent the Chinese from infiltrating our university system and stealing our information. Because when the Chinese do that, they're not just trying to make a buck on it. They do, and that's bad. But the real danger is they harness our technology and use it for their military apparatus. They weaponize American technology they've stolen and apply it to a military that practices to take the United States out. This is the University of Pennsylvania that pressured the Department of Justice, the Biden Department of Justice, to stop doing this. And the Department of Justice did stop. This is corruption to the level This is shocking corruption. This is corruption to the level that it threatens national security. It's very easy to see. This should be a story that is on every front page across the country because it shows the extent to which Joe Biden is in bed with the Chinese communists, which is probably not going to surprise you. It's not going to surprise me because we know that Hunter Biden does business with the Chinese. And after Hunter Biden got this $1 billion equity deal with an entity tied to the Chinese Communist Party, Joe Biden's positions, this is when he was vice president, towards China on everything from trade to freedom softened visibly. Joe Biden is bought off by the Chinese. And this university, the University of Pennsylvania, was a stooge for the Chinese communists. And yet, what do we do in our society? We defer to these Ivy League intellectuals, studies and research and quote unquote science that comes out of these universities. We defer to because we think, oh, these people are smart, these people are experts, they know what they're doing, they're on the cutting edge, we should listen to them, when really they're pawns of the communist ideology, and so is Joe Biden.